So no one's ever shown you how to actually present and pitch a managed IT services contract, have they? It's probably something that you've potentially learned or you're still trying to learn. I've been in this business for like 20 years almost at this point. I'm going to show you how I pitch services, and I'm going to show you how my clients pitch services. Now, that's what this video is about. So if you are looking to actually get that close, get that sale, ringing the bell, this is what we're going to be covering in the video. Now, before we get into the detail of like the pitch and how to present it, let's just set the framing up. For me in my business, I run webinars. So I basically get people to my webinars. I have a few mechanisms to get lots of people to my webinars, and then I pitch my service. I also help managed IT service providers, cybersecurity providers do the same thing. I fill a room of 20 or 30 businesses, and then we get to pitch the services. You might be in a similar position, but you might not be doing webinars. You might have been doing like a Chamber of Commerce event where you're presenting. You might be doing a workshop. You might be doing like a BNI 10-minute presentation, something along those lines. Or you might be actually sitting down with an existing client or a prospect and then attempting to actually win their business. So how do you do it? What's the framework? What's the thing that's going to work? And without boring them to death with a bunch of slides. That's what we're going to cover here. It's the MSP sales pitch. Let me get into the screen here and show you where we're going to start off. So the first thing you need to do within your presentation, and I'm going to guess you're using PowerPoint or something like that, is you need to start off with their pain, the pain that they have, okay? So if you are running a webinar, or if you've already met the prospect or you're an existing client, the first meeting is really to figure out what the pain is, okay? And I do that. This is the webinar that I run. So I go through the problem. I basically say, here's the problem that you've got. I'm a doctor diagnosing the problem. And I'm basically just relaying that problem back to them. In my case, for webinars and me helping MSPs, I'm basically saying you've got a great website, you're doing blog posts, you're doing social media posts, you've got a lead magnet on your site, you're maybe doing cold email, cold calling, direct mail, but none of it's really working. Okay, so that's me painting the problem. Okay, that's the first thing that you need in your slide. So it's not about your business. It's not about how great your team are or what your amazing solution is. It's about their problem. Okay, fairly obvious. That's where you got to start. Pretend you're a doctor. It's about their problem. Okay, the next piece in this puzzle is you present your solution, and you have to be brief with this. You basically, like within 30 seconds to 60 seconds, you basically say, here's my solution. So for me, selling my service to MSPs, the solution is, okay, webinars, why are they such a great thing for you guys? Well, because you get to build a relationship. You get to build that trust. Trust's so important when it comes to winning over a managed IT services contract. And then I basically go through all of the great things that webinars can do, all of the great things the solution does. So that's the next piece, is you present your solution within 30 to 60 seconds. It is like your elevator pitch for your solution. You're not going 5, 10, 15, 20, 35 minutes with all of the things that you're going to be great at. You don't. You just cover it within that 60 seconds, okay? Now, this is where you have to think as part of your presentation when you're preparing for this, is what are the objections that your prospect, or if you're in a webinar or an event, what are the objections that someone would have to your solution? What might they be? Okay. Now I'll show you what my objection list is here. So when I present webinars as the solution to growing an IT business, the objections that I cover, I can't get people to register. I don't know what to sell in a webinar. A fear of presenting. I've tried webinars before and I couldn't get them to work. Okay. These are all objections in someone's head before doing webinars. So we take it back a little bit. You're selling managed IT services, you've got cybersecurity solution, or maybe you're doing AI. What are the objections? And I know the biggest one most MSPs have, and it's like, I've already got a provider. I've already got an IT provider, okay? So how do you address those objections? Well, how do you get around these really big objections, okay? How do you do that? That's step 4, and it's breaking the beliefs. It's breaking the objections. They have preconceived beliefs in their head about your solution not going to be able to work for them because X, X, and X. So this is the piece that I do. I basically go through in my presentation breaking these beliefs. Oh, I can't get people to register. Okay, that's the first one. So what do we do here? What does this slide, how do I break that belief about being able to get people to register for my webinar? I can't get people to turn up. How do we break the belief? Well, we have to evidence the belief. We have to show evidence, a client example, something where I'm not just saying stuff, I'm actually evidencing this is the belief that I'm going to break. This is the objection I'm going to break, and this is why it works. So I go into like some of my clients' successes with webinars, some of the failures with webinars, and I also show stats on like how much it actually costs to get people to your webinar, okay? So you need to be able to break beliefs, but they have to be evidence-based slides, okay? That's the best way I can put it. So you need to evidence this, and it's not your words. It has to come from your clients, an example of your clients or the work that you've done for your clients, okay? Getting back to that one main objection, I've already got an IT provider. Why should I choose you? That's a really tough one. How can you break that objection? Well, if you've seen any of my other videos, if you're in a webinar or doing a presentation, the solution isn't managed IT services. There's a different solution, and you can find out what that is within, my school group. But you're not leading with managed IT. The managed IT is a topic, a discussion once you've done some small piece of project work for them and it leads to something greater, okay? So think of a small piece of project work that you can pitch. It's a solution, something that someone really wants, but also think of what objections they might have, and then go into the stories. I'm working through this right now, actually, with one of my clients. I asked them, I'm like, okay, are you doing anything with AI for your clients? I said, yeah, we have done some stuff with AI for our clients, but we've also got this really cool document management automation solution. Whilst it's not AI, we can put an AI spin on it. I said, this is great. This is like what you need to document and evidence to break these beliefs. So back to my beliefs. How do I break the other ones? Okay, so don't know what to sell. This is where I basically go in and talk about the Trojan horse. It's not about selling the managed IT services. This is me basically taking through stories of what my clients sell on a webinar. It's not managed IT services, okay? And then we go into the fear of presenting. I tell a story about one of my clients that was extremely scared to present, and we tell that story and how he managed to transform in that story. So that's what this does. So once you've broken 3 of those main objections with evidence-backed slides and case studies of your clients, the next step is a summary transition, okay? This is where you basically cover everything that you've just said, where you're basically saying, okay, what have we covered here so far? This is the problem you've got. This is the solution that I have. These are the main problems with that solution, but these are how we actually fix those 3 big problems, okay? So we do that summary transition. After those beliefs, breaking those 3 beliefs, we do the summary transition, and then we go on to the actual pitch, okay? But it's not the pitch that you think it is. It's called the reverse value offer, okay? This is the small piece of project work that you want to sell in your webinar, in your workshop, in front of your BNI members, in front of your prospect, if it's a one-to-one, okay? This is the piece where we're doing a reverse value offer. What the heck even is that, okay? Basically, you are listing out all of the cool things this small project work will do for the client, but you're doing it in a reverse way where it's being negative, as in you're trying to push the prospect away. And I'll show you an example of this, okay? This is how I do it in my webinar. So the first thing for me okay, my call to action is actually just to book another call with me in the webinar. So I specifically call out, this is like one of the main objections. This is not a sales call. Okay, so this is me pushing this away, this preconceived idea that this is going to be something where Scott's going to sell them. I say it's not a sales call. Keep your wallet in your pocket. Okay, first push away, first reverse. The second one, I basically say, webinars might not work for you. I'm pushing them away. This AI project, this might not work for you. Okay, this is like human psychology. The more you tell someone like, I'm not sure this is for you, the more they want it. So keep that push, keep the reverse value offer. Then this might, even if it is going to work for you, even if webinars do work for you, it might not be worth it. It might not be worth your time. Okay? So you see what we're doing here? We're trying to like tease them. It's like the girl that teases you when you were in college or high school. You know, we all know this story. It's like, you can't have it. And that's because you want it more. This is the reverse value offer. So if it's a small piece of AI project work, if it's a cybersecurity maturity assessment or something like that, think about the cool things, but think about how you can flip it so that you're kind of saying, I'm not sure this is going to be for you, okay? I'm not sure that this girl is going to be for you. And then we just basically say, but you know what? Let's find out. Let's find out if this is going to work. And then that's where it leads to the next step. So this is how it works. This is the pitch. This is how it works. You leave them hanging there like, oh, we got to do this. We got to buy it. Anyway, that's how I pitch my webinars. And if I was selling an AI project, if I was selling a cybersecurity maturity assessment, this is how I would be pitching it. Okay. Let's just do a little transition here. Let's do a summary of what we've covered. Start with the pain. What's the biggest pain points that they have? You must have identified them. If it's a market, a niche, identify them. If it's a prospect you're meeting with, make sure you're having that intro call with them first to figure out what their pain points. You should be asking lots of questions. Literally, everything you say is just a question at that point. You present your solution, 30 to 60 seconds. You acknowledge the biggest objections with that solution, and you break the beliefs around each of those objections. Okay, with evidence, not just saying, you really need this. No, you need evidence, okay? Then you do the summary transition, which I'm taking you through right now, and then we do the reverse value offer. So, what is my reverse value offer for this video? It's simple. Check out the school group, but only check it out if you think this might be right for you. Actually, that's not very reverse value, is it? Anyway, I'll leave it there. I bumbled on for too long today. Take it easy. Catch you later. Bye.